Buongiorno! So now you know a little bit of Italian and you've taken the time to understand basically how the language works. You've learned a ton of really useful things and now you want more, right? You want to really learn Italian all the way to fluency ideally, and you're wondering, is there a place that I can go to and not only find the information that is going to guide me and tell me how things work, but also a place where I can ask questions, where I can get the help I need, a place where I can practice, where I can connect with other people doing the same thing, and all those amazing things. And I am here to tell you the secret. How thousands of people I know managed to learn to communicate in Italian. And this video is for you to help you accomplish the same goal. So, benvenuti! Welcome to a video where I tell you where you can learn Italian the way you've been learning during this series. And that is with Italy Made Easy on our all-access, unlimited Italian platform that I don't really talk about too much, but it's amazing and you should check it out. So now that you've watched all of the lessons in this free mini course that we put together and we've given you kind of a shorter version of the main topics, I want to invite you to go and check out Beginner Italian Level 1, which is the first course that you would probably take once you join a platform as a beginner. You can join Italy Made Easy at any level of Italian that you may already have, but I'm going to introduce you to the platform assuming that you are a beginner. Beginner means that maybe even you've already studied for 6 months, but you don't feel confident enough to call yourself somebody who can chit-chat in Italian. And then to us, you will be a beginner and you will access from Beginner Italian Level 1, which is the first course that you will encounter in our selection of courses. When you start Beginner Italian Level 1, you will see how well structured our courses are. They're divided into units. This particular course has 14 units. Each unit has a number of lessons, around 20. So all in all, this course has 150 lessons and around 60 hours of training. Now, the reason I'm mentioning this is not because bigger is better, but when it comes to learning your first foreign language, bigger is better in the sense that more explanation, more time for you to digest how different the language is, the Italian language in your case. And so what we've done is we really take you by the hand and take the time to have you understand everything that you need to understand, not memorize pretty much anything, but just understand it so that it becomes second nature over time as you're progressing through the course. And that is why we have structured the courses the way we have. Each unit tends to address a couple of big grammar points, maybe the conjugation of a verb, maybe prepositions, something big that you need to understand how it works in Italian. And then there are resources to practice what you've learned in terms of the grammar side of things. And then there's a third component that most courses don't have, which is the practice of the Italian language per se. And so we have things like dictation exercises or comprehension exercises where you hear me speak something in Italian and then we ask you questions, to see if you understood. But we do things like we give you an article and then ask you comprehension questions. It's all there in a single place. Something that I really enjoy and our students do too are the dictation exercises because you didn't think that you need them until you do them. And then, of course, we talk about grammar. We talk about pronunciation a lot. And we give you tips on how you can become a good speaker of Italian or a good understander of Italian. At the bottom of each lesson, we give you a very easy button that will take you to the forums where you can find a place to ask questions specific to the lesson that you've just watched. You can ask questions and, we jump in and help you out. Other students have already asked questions, so you can find their answers or you can help each other all right here. We've also decided to include lessons on vocabulary, but not just any vocabulary that we feel would be useful to you. And we help you memorize the words so that you can recall what they are instead of just learning them. And then we also have quizzes that are self-correcting with no pressure. There are no grades, no points, no failure or anything. It's just a way for you to check your knowledge. And we've done something pretty amazing that at the end of each quiz, you can find an explanation as to why that was the correct answer or, potentially that you didn't get right. And you can also print that so that you can put together a little memory book of all the explanations of all the questions. Something that is worth pointing out is that each lesson, each grammar lesson, is accompanied by a really, really detailed PDF that not only summarizes what I said in the lesson so that you can read it through in just in a few pages, but it actually expands on some points that I may not have made in the video that we feel that you should know about. The PDF also has a list of all the examples used in the lessons, and it's a great resource to put together as you progress so that at the end of the course you actually have a little grammar book that works with you because it follows our style. When you're done with beginner Italian level 1, what happens? Well, you get a certificate of completion that just you can print and you can have there so that you know and you can tell the world that you have completed beginner Italian level 1. But now you can move on to beginner Italian level 2, and that is why I believe that Italy Made Easy is the best solution for you to learn Italian, because it's an all-access platform. What that means is that you're not actually purchasing a course, you are getting access to the whole universe, the whole ecosystem that is made up of a number of things, including courses. Of course, you will always be taking a main course. In your case, it will be a beginner level 1, and when you progress, it'll be a beginner Italian level 2. So of course, what's the use of having access to intermediate level 4 when you are already a beginner? I'll tell you in a minute why it's great that you have access to everything, because we have a tool that finds the right lesson for you. As you're learning something, you might become curious about, oh, I wonder how this specific thing works, or I was watching this thing in Italian, or I was talking to some Italian and they said this and I don't understand. I looked it up, Wikipedia didn't help, YouTube was totally useless in helping me because they were explaining it to me in Italian. I need Manu's answer to this. Having access to all the levels is really useful. It's also useful once you progress to a higher level, then you can always go back to the previous level to quickly check something, review a topic that you are not sure, you remember well, and it's always there for you. After beginner Italian level 1, you would move on to beginner Italian level 2. How many levels do we have? Well, we've done something pretty unique at Italy Made Easy. We created this flagship program that it's called From Zero to Italian, because it gets you started, with the assumption that you know nothing about language learning and Italian specifically. And we teach you that, beginner Italian level 1, and then we deepen your knowledge, we give you more skills, more ability to express yourself in Italian, to understand. You will develop every skill that you need to be a confident speaker of Italian, not just the grammar. But what we've done is we've divided this into 8 levels. So there are 2 beginner levels, then there are 4 intermediate levels, and finally 2 advanced level courses. Why have we done this when most other platforms or even academia usually talks about lower and upper beginner, lower and upper intermediate, lower and upper advanced? So that's 6. So why do we have 8? Well, what I have observed as a teacher for so many years is that most other programs base your level only on the knowledge of grammar. And so they would say, if you have learned the imperfetto or the future tense or the conditional tense or the subjunctive, then this is your level. It never translates into real life application. So many times I've spoken to students who've been learning Italian for 5 years, 10 years, and they, in theory, they know all the tenses, but they don't communicate at a level that they would consider advanced. So are they really advanced? Probably not. So the way I conceived From Zero to Italian was a little different. We cover all of the grammar topics in the first 6 courses, so 2 beginner and 4 intermediate. So it is only after you've learned all the grammar that do we consider you an advanced level student, and that's when we will teach you how to become more fluid and more fluent. We'll get into the little nuances and exceptions of the language, a little phrases that we use in Italian, becoming more slangy, more colloquial, and also getting you to really become a good speaker. And so those levels will be taught all in Italian mostly, because you're already there, because you don't have any questions now, because you have conquered it. And so after beginner level 1, you'll get into level 2, and then you move on to the intermediate and other levels. But what Italy Made Easy is for you is not just From Zero to Italian. We have other courses that you can access because you have unlimited access to everything. And so other courses worth mentioning are our Learn Italian with Audio program that is basically an audiobook that we have produced, like an audiobook that you will get from Audible, but it's created for learners of Italian. It's a story, it's 12 chapters, and each chapter is broken down into a number of steps that will take you from having really hard time understanding what is being said, because it's an acted audiobook, so with music and sound effects and many speakers and also many accents. But by the end of each chapter and all the phases that we put you through, then you should be able to understand all of it. And so it can take you 12 weeks or 12 months to finish one of those audiobooks, but it's there for you. We have other courses on Italian immersion, how to do immersion so that you become more fluent in Italian. We have pronunciation courses, yes, a whole pronunciation course, all included for the same crazy low cost. What else do we have? In terms of courses, there's a ton of them, so let's stop there. As you're making progress with the knowledge of the Italian language and your confidence, we have created a section on the website that, it is unique and it's extremely exciting and useful to you as a learner, and that is our Piazza Italia experience. This is, let's call it our social network, but it's not any social network that you could go and post things and then you get hate because you made a mistake. We have created a very safe place where you can start using the Italian that you've been learning and also getting to interact with Italian native speakers and other students. So let me talk about Piazza Italia. So it's basically a social network that you can use to experiment. You can post things in Italian or not if you need help. And it's not about grammar. It's not about anything like that. It's not boring. It's an exciting place. So you can have a play with this. You can share maybe what you've been cooking today, or maybe your photos of Italy, or a little story that happened to you when you were in Italy, or just a question that you want other people to address. Now, of course, my team and I are on Piazza Italia, so we post our updates and then you can comment, hey, well done Manu, bravo Manu, complimenti, or grazie mille per questa lezione. You can share your victories or whatever you want. While you're in Piazza Italia, you can also connect with other students right there, but also you can create friendships. You can ask for a friendship to a person that you've been talking to, and now you have a little group of peers that maybe live in your time zone, maybe are going to Italy at the same time as you, or maybe are just going through the same course, and then you can help each other, and you can even jump on video calls, where I'll tell you in a minute where you can do that. But this is Piazza Italia. I love it because it's a casual, lighthearted, non-academic way of using Italian in a safe environment with no judgment. No one cares about your mistakes. No one cares if you can't say anything, but it's just a place where you can really get started. We have social groups on different topics, and something that I want to talk about is, well, we have the community group, which is the main place, that's our Facebook. You can do whatever you want there. You can share whatever you want, but we have a group that is dedicated to beginners. And so you join it when you're a beginner, and then you leave when you're no longer a beginner. And the beauty of that group is that it's very specific to beginners. And so it's even more safety. It's even a more welcoming place because really you're in the same boat as everybody else. Whereas in other social groups on a platform, you might post something basic and you might get a reply from a student who's way ahead of you, which is really helpful, but maybe you don't want that. So you can post in the beginner group. Part of our Piazza Italia experience is also the opportunity for you to speak face-to-face, video call with my amazing team. The team has been trained to keep the conversation fun, very lighthearted, on the things that you want to talk about, but they're guided conversations where you are encouraged to use the Italian that you have. So how does it work? Well, we publish a calendar. There's basically an opportunity every day for students to jump on a video call. And these are just Zoom calls. By now, everybody knows how to use Zoom, but it's very easy. We have instructions for everything. And what happens is that each appointment caters to a different level. So you never find yourself in a room with somebody who's like 3 levels ahead of you, who's super fluent, and then you feel intimidated. If you're in a video call for beginners, you can rest assured that everybody else in that room is kind of around your level. And we're not competing when we're learning a language, but I understand the pressure that you would feel if there were somebody who was so much better than you. I would feel it. And so that's an opportunity that you have to practice Italian verbally, visually, in real life with real Italians every day, all included in your subscription. And we also have created what we call La Stanza dello Studente, which is the student's room, which is another way for you to practice your Italian, so without the presence of the team. And you can use that room. It's free for you to use. If you have connections in Piazza Italia and you want to organize a study session, then we give you a place to go and study with other students. Or you just want to plan your holidays together, it's fine. As a subscriber to Italy Made Easy, as part of this engagement that we do with real Italians, we do other things like live streams with Manu. It could be either a Q&A where you ask me your questions and I help you out, or it could be an Italian pronunciation practice where I challenge you to unmute yourself and have a go at saying something in Italian, and then I'll give you feedback. We do a ton of really creative things, and we're always coming up with new ideas. So that's all included. And of course, you have access to the recordings of what we do in case you miss it. And all of our subscribers also have immediate access to any masterclass that we do. We currently have a couple scheduled or happening very soon. The first one coming up is on Italian definite articles. It's going to be a 2-day live experience where you learn how they work, but also when you need to use them and when not to use them, because that's where most people kind of get lost, like when do I use it? So anyway, masterclasses are also included in your subscription instead of having to pay for a ticket to attend, which is what other people would have to do. So it's all included. But now, as a student of anything or any language, you also want additional resources. And that's where the practice section of our website comes in very handy. We regularly post, probably once a week, a new type of activity, but also you have access to the library of everything that has been done before. So the moment you join, you have hundreds of opportunities to practice Italian. How? There are a number of ways. So we have comprehension videos. These are videos in Italian that we give you access to. We give you a list of vocabulary that we feel it's necessary for you to understand it. We have comprehension questions, so you can work every other day on a comprehension video. We have a ton of old videos, plus we keep publishing them, like I said. But also, other people prefer to read and see if they understand something written. And then we have articles on all things Italian, mostly cultural things about Italy. They're simplified articles. They're not like a newspaper article for Italians. So these are created for you. Again, you get the vocabulary, you get the translation, you get to really work on your comprehension of the written text. Also, as a subscriber, you have access to all the supporting resources for a podcast. Now, we have one of the best podcasts for learners of Italian, Italy Made Easy Podcast 100% in Italiano Lento. Long name, maybe that's not the full name, but that's what it does. It's 100% slower Italian. And as a subscriber, you have all the PDFs. Not only you have the audio, which obviously is available for free, but you also get the PDF of this podcast and any other podcast that we will launch in the future. So it's all there for you. And what are the podcasts used for? Well, they're useful for listening to Italian and comprehending and make sense of it. But it's also a great way for you to improve your pronunciation, expand your vocabulary, learn fun facts about Italy, because we never talk about grammar because our approach. We use Italian with you to help you become confident in understanding and speaking it, but we don't explain things that you need to know in Italian because it's just way too crazy. And of course, you have access to the replays of any live event that we have produced. So it's all there under the practice section. But there's more. No platform created by us, Italy Made Easy, would be complete without a section on immersion. We hammer on the importance of listening to a ton of Italian so that you can become fluent, and instead of leaving you all by yourself to go and find stuff to listen to and then you end up listening to the wrong things that actually demotivate you and make you feel bad about your Italian, we put together a section on our website that has different levels of immersion-ness for you. We start with simpler Italian, which is a section where we put videos in Italian that in most cases we've created that are spoken in slower Italian, and they come with accurate subtitles and and all the things that we do for videos that we produce in Italian. We have a section that is natural Italian, and that includes a selection of videos from channels from YouTube that we don't produce because these are channels that Italians produce for Italians, but we handpick them. We don't just say, go and watch whatever you want on YouTube, because that could be difficult. We find videos that come with man-made or human-made subtitles, so they are mostly accurate, not as accurate as our subtitles because we put effort in it, but these are videos that have good subtitles, and the speakers tend to speak in a more clear way than most Italians. And so you can go there to find recommendations on individual videos, or maybe you can discover a YouTuber that you want to follow that can help you improve your Italian. And then we also have access to 24/7 live streaming of radio stations that we handpick, and a secret that I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's a live streaming video channel that it's right there that you can just go to that tab and hear Italian 24/7 if you want, but it's Italian that we approve of, so you'll love it. Having access to all of our content and courses is a great benefit, but it's also kind of like there's so much information. So instead of forcing you to go to each course and look at the syllabus and find the thing that you're curious about, we have created a search engine. It's our trademarked, not really, lesson finder that can really make your life easier. No matter what your level is, you can go to this search engine and type in the thing that you want to know about. It could be something that you've heard. It could be, maybe like a grammar point, some kind of difficult thing that you've come across, or it could be something generic. Because what we've done for this search engine is amazing. Not only are we going to be able to pop up a lesson that is on a certain topic. Let's say that you want to, I'm curious about the passato prossimo. I'm curious about the Italian future tense. You just type that and it will give you a list of resources that are lessons, practice lessons, exercises that have to do with that topic that you're searching. So that would be for grammar topics. But we've done a lot more. We've transcribed all of our videos, and the search engine goes through the script of what I've said. And so if you ever wonder crazy things like, has Manu ever talked about why Italians drink sparkling water? Then you would type that, Italians, sparkling water. And then maybe an article would be suggested to you, or a podcast episode, or a comprehension exercise that talks about the thing that you were looking for. Or maybe it's a video that it could be on a very different topic, but inside that video, I said the things that you were typing, the thing that you were searching for. And so it's a great little tool that our students are loving. We keep improving it. We monitor what searches you guys or our students are making, and then we improve the results so that we always give you the best result. And this is a crazy resource for you to get an explanation that is our style. If you like our style and you will love our platform, then you will love this tool because it really gets you the answer explained in the way that we do. Finally, something that it's really important for us at Little Made Easy is to make sure that it's an easy to use platform. So not only is the whole thing very user friendly, it works for mobile, it works from any device. It's very intuitive. We do have a lot of sections in the menu, but everything is clearly labeled. And so you should not really have any issues. Now, when it comes to doubts about what you're learning, there's a number of places where you can get help. Of course, we have the forums. Like I said, each lesson goes to a place where you can ask questions specifically about that topic, and our team and other students are there to help you. Social network. Now, of course, the social network, Piazza Italia, is not really meant to discuss grammar, but you create connections with other students. And so if you become friends with somebody who's above your level, you can ask them, right? So you can private message each other. So it's a really good opportunity for you to get your doubts sorted. Now we have the live streams where you can ask me questions. We have the video calls with the Italian team that, again, are not about grammar, it's about speaking. But, if you make a mistake, then you can say, but why is it wrong? And then you'll get an answer there as well. So there are many places. But when it comes to technical issues, like running the platform, being a user, we made sure that it was super, super straightforward. And so we have tutorials on pretty much anything, and we keep building tutorials. If you have a question that it's like a technical question, we have a database of articles that explain how to fix a problem. So you are in control of everything. You can cancel your subscription if you don't want to. You don't even have to write to us. You can print out your invoices if you need them for tax purposes. Everything is super straightforward. But in case you need help, we're always there to help you. We have a support help desk that it's amazing. It's way better than any corporation I've ever dealt with. I deal with YouTube and Facebook. Hope you never need to get help from those, but we are there for you. And so anytime you have an issue that you haven't been able to solve it by yourself, you create a ticket right from inside your account. You get notified when we reply to you, and you can see the entire conversation right there in the ticket. And if you have multiple tickets open, then you can really keep track of everything. We solve any issue. We never leave you with frustration. And if you get frustrated easily, we work with you so that you like us even more. So this is what we've put together to help people like you learn Italian the right way. And I, as a teacher, never have to hear the common comment of, I've been learning Italian for so long and I still suck. That is not you. You can be fluent in Italian. Trust us. Go and check out italymedici.com. Subscribe. It's a crazy low price. Actually, the price of all of this that gives you access to all of our courses, plus all of our engagement and all of our resources and quality of help. It's all under the same roof in a very convenient way for what others are charging for a single course on a single topic. So go and check it out, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao.